Hello! This is the RPG Crawler, and it is time once again for CRPG News Roundup. This time for June 14th, 2025, where each week I take a look back at the week in computer and console role playing game news and bring you the highlights. It looks like Songs of Conquest will be getting a new DLC on June 17th. Called Roots, it will add a new biome, new troops, towns, and more to the tactical RPG. It looks like at the same time, Songs of Conquest in general will be releasing on the Nintendo Switch, at least in the Western nations. Eastern releases will be delayed until June 19th. Sea Fantasy, a fishing RPG, is set to hit Nintendo Switch on June 19th. It has been on the PC since early this year. It is a pixel art, open world style game where the destruction of the world may hinge on the ability of two young men to fish. Neverwinter Nights 2 is getting an enhanced edition. I did not see this one coming. Dungeons & Dragons Neverwinter Nights 2 Enhanced Edition is set to release on July 15th and will target the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X/S, and the Switch. It'll include all of the DLC as well as new controller support. It'll also be featured in a bundle with the enhanced edition of the game. The first game, that is. Class of Heroes 3 Remaster will be hitting on September 18th. It'll release on the PC, PS5, and the Switch, with consoles getting physical editions at some retailers. This follows up on the remasters of the first two Class of Heroes games, which I covered a while back. You know, I never did post my playthrough of those. I think I got both of them like 99% through, and they just got super busy. I need to edit them and put them up on the secondary channel sometime. Speaking of, I need to finish off the Planescape Let's Play and put that up there. Anyway, Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist and the White Guardian, is set to land on September 26th. Targeting the PC, PS5, and the Switch, it'll be in the same universe as the free-to-play Atelier Resleriana title, but will have its own story and be playable offline. The Outer Worlds 2 is coming out on October 29th. It'll target the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X/S, and feature a new protagonist and a new star system, but within the same universe as the first game. Disgaea 7 Complete will be releasing on the Switch 2 this fall. It'll be an enhanced version of Disgaea 7 with all the DLC and a new adventure. Swordhaven Iron Conspiracy is set to get its full release in December. It has been in early access for a while now. It is a party-based RPG in a classic isometric style. Neptunia Game Maker R Evolution is going to get a PC release. It has been on consoles since last year. It'll feature an older version of the series' main character who bands with others to battle declining market shares. Forever was announced. It will be a co-op action RPG where you can explore a world alone or with allies, thus the co-op factor, delve into dungeons, enemy encampments, and create your own combat style from various skills, builds, etc. Game Freak has banded together with a new publisher to produce Beast Reincarnation. It'll be an action-adventure RPG targeting the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X/S for release sometime next year. It looks like it'll be set in a post-apocalyptic Japan, and more importantly, prove that Game Freak can actually produce games that look nice and run well, apparently. Persona 4 Revival was revealed. It looks like it'll be a remake of the original Persona 4 and targeted the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X/S. A little more information was put out, but I'm sure we'll hear more about it. Fail Better Games, the folk behind Sunless Sea and other Fallen London set games, has announced Mandrake, which looks to be a rural life sim inspired by British history and folklore. A bit of a departure from their usual stuff, although of course it will have its own mysteries and other touches of the arcane, amongst growing various crops, some of which have special powers. Ledgerbound will be a turn-based strategy RPG where you play an insurance adjuster in a fantasy world, forced to leave your desk job behind to face an ancient enemy who threatens the world and your employment. The Expanse, Osiris Reborn, will be an action RPG from Owlcat Games, a third-person sort of RPG set in the Expanse universe where you play a merc in the wrong place at the wrong time. Chronicles Medieval will be an open-world sandbox with RPG elements, set in a medieval world with the ability to lead armies into large-scale battles. Lustra, Lacaille's Tale, will have you following a young mage rebuilding her life, growing a village, mastering spellcasting, etc. Solasta 2 made the announcement that they are switching to the underlying rule set to the 2020 version of the 5th edition SRD, which, admittedly, I'm not sure about. I don't like that version of the rule set so much that it actually decreases my wish to get Solasta 2. It doesn't rule it out, but it does decrease the fact I'm looking forward to it. I suppose it does make sense, though. I mean, it is the newest version of the SRD. So popular. Anyway, I'm sure they will do as good a job as they can with that rule set because they do have talented people there. As far as actual releases go, Prometheus Website is released into early access. It is a party-based, turn-based RPG in a near-future post-digital Earth. Grim Diary is A roguelike deck builder with light anime art style and visual novel elements, now in early access. It has you playing a girl looking to bring her sister's body back to normal after she's turned into a puppet. Tenfold Tales looks to be a cozy casual RPG where you explore a map one tile at a time, going through a patchwork world in an interactive fiction-based manner. Path of the Abyss looks to be a pretty classic dungeon crawler JRPG with a monochrome vibe, the first-person step-based dungeon crawler. Bioesque is a action RPG, exploration-focused retro-style bio-horror game with both sci-fi and fantasy elements and some arcadey sequences. I have no idea how to pronounce the title, though. Wizard of Legend 2 was released and is an action roguelike with online co-op play with new 3D visual style. Finally, Mugen RPG is in early access and looks to be an action combat RPG where you wield high-tech weaponry against various hordes in a roguelike setup. And on that, let's take a look at crowdfunding campaigns. Remember that contributing to a crowdfunding campaign should be done only at your own risk. Doing so is no guarantee of even receiving a product. Mentioned here is not an endorsement, but is for informational purposes only. And we'll start with Wildbound, that looks to be an open-world monster taming style RPG where you explore a vast landscape, collect over 200 unique creatures, and battle them in turn-based format. And then there's Eternal's Path, which looks to be a roguelike turn-based tactical RPG with both narrative and strategic elements across a few procedurally generated floors. And on that note, I'm going to wrap things up here. This has been the RPG Crawler, my RPG News Roundup for my CRPG News Roundup for June 14th, 2025. As has been the case, I'll do tabletop RPG news tomorrow. Links will be below. If you like what you've seen, remember to leave a like, comment, guiding feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content. Until next time, take care and goodbye. And if you are still watching, I would like to take the opportunity to thank my supporters, the top tiers of which are listed on the screen, without whose support I would not have been able to offer the variety of content that I have on this channel throughout the years. If you're feeling particularly generous and would like to join them, you can support the channel. There are a variety of options to do so. I have a Patreon, a Subscribestar, as well as channel memberships enabled. If you are not in a position to contribute, simply leaving a like, a comment, or sharing my videos are all wonderful ways to help the channel grow without spending a dime, and are all greatly appreciated.